Well, good morning, LV News Cafe. Right. Suppose I should park in front so it looks like a little...
If there's ever any oil gets in that, or leaks out of that tank, it'll come down to the lowest point, the bottom of that pipe. And I drilled holes in the pipe up to about 2 feet.
Right.
So that if there's any oil in there.
Or it'll go to the bottom of the visqueen, what do you call that at the bottom? Visqueen sink or...
Yeah. So any oil would show up in that pipe.
Well, that's a good way to line an oil tank to minimize the impact.
That'll be there forever.
Yeah, the visqueen will retain its strength underground. The sunlight won't destroy it.
Right. I don't think...
So you're paying more of your full cost for the land you're using by making sure you do things upright.
Well, my well is 40 feet away and 50 feet away.
And you don't want to pollute your own well anyway.
Pollute my own well.
Very much. So for another less than 1% investment of the whole tank and everything else, you made it much safer and much more responsible.
Well, I think that
an hour's time, $10 of visqueen and some pipe, and the idea.
If anything ever happens to that, it'll show up. That visqueen and the tank will probably outlive me. I had buried 2 tanks, almost side by side, but one was in gravel and one was in silt. And the silt was very dry. There was absolutely no rust anywhere on that tank that was in the silt. There was a great deal of rust on the other tank. I suppose in time it would have rusted through, but it was nowhere near rusted through. There were 2 1,000-gallon tanks. But
and that was for regular fuel oil?
Well, the one that was rusted had gasoline in it.
Right.
But I took it out and reconditioned the tank. There were no really bad rusted through spots, but they'd been in the ground 15 years. Put them in at the same time, 15 years before. I checked with the Greer tank welding. They figure that it will cost just exactly double to build a double wall tank, which they're going to have to put in filling stations and places like this.
Right, all over town they're tearing them out and putting in new tanks.
Yeah.
And pulling out the soil that's underneath it and piling it up.
Well, some of
the 60s, they took away several hundred lots from people on South Cushman.
Certain water systems on South Fairbanks.
Right.
And
they charged every lot 200 feet.
On the basis of
frontage of the road that the line was on.
Yeah. And so whether there was anything on the lot or not, they would charge for that sewer pipe servicing the lot. And the lots at that time were only worth about $50 to $200 max. And so the assessment was $1,300 or something. So everybody said, well, I'm not going to pay a $1,300 sewer assessment for a $50 lot. And so they just let them go back to the city. And the city has been, of course, selling and disposing of those lots during the 70s and 80s.
They went back to the city because it was the city assessing the fee.
Yeah. And so hundreds of people lost their lots. And instead of them being able to make the money, 80s, the city took all that money. Is that camera running? Is that what the
red light?
What you're doing?
Yeah.